I prefer not to get married to an American woman is because most American women are wired for divorce. Many of them come into your life just to divorce you. They are okay with going through a divorce. They are not willing to take any hit. Any little thing. I'm about to go to the car. I'm about to go to court and get a divorce with you right now, man. I ain't playing with you, boy. I don't want you no more. I'm going to check out this relationship. I do not want to go through that. Most American women live on fast food. Checkers, KFC, Popeye chicken, and McDonald's. I do not want to go through having to buy food every day outside. This is one of the reasons why I would prefer to get married to an African woman because African women, they have been trained to make food in the house. They have been trained to stay in relationships no matter what happens. It's very difficult for an African woman to get a divorce.
First of all, I was laughing because that accent took me out. Okay? That accent took me straight out. That was so funny when he was mimicking, I'm not playing with you, boy. That was so funny. But regardless, I do want to talk about this because I already know. Listen, I saw the comment section and women were livid. Like American women were livid. Oh, so what does he want? He want to put a woman on a leash. He want to tell her what to do. He wanted this. He wanted that. Like, it was completely letting the conversation go over their head because they were in their feelings. Maybe because they're the ones that's at Popeye's churches and stuff like that. Maybe that's the reason why they were so upset about it. Or maybe they felt inferior to the context that he was given. But I think that people are taking this conversation in a completely wrong way. One, I want to say this. I'm very well aware that there are American women who were raised with certain standards when it comes to cooking, cleaning, being submissive to your husband, having a certain demeanor with yourself. I understand that to be true. Okay, I know that. However, when we look at the majority of women in the West, we see, this need for a power struggle, this need, to be the man has to be inferior, the woman has to be superior. We don't need them. We can do it all bad by ourselves. If we want to, we can just, X them out of the equation. We can figure everything out. We don't need them to have kids. We don't even need them in the child's life. Like, we could do everything all by ourselves. And when you look other places, you don't necessarily see that. Now, again, I have to say this as well. This is another disclaimer. I can't 100% say a lot of other places that you don't see that too, because nowadays, with social media being so rampant, we see people even in countries that, have been, they're way further back than a lot of these other countries when it comes to women's quote unquote liberation and stuff like that. They're literally taking a page out of America's book and is putting them in huge problems. Okay, because now people are starting to see how other people live their lives. They're starting to see, how the women are standing up to their men and they're starting to do these things. When we look at, especially in like the Caribbean islands, it's the same. Okay, the women who used to be a certain way, they end up growing up to be a little bit different because of the modernized society that is going on globally. Okay, I just need to make that clear. Because a lot of people think that people are in other places are just so oppressed and they have no choice but just to bow to a man or beg him. And I want to tell you that some men go other places and they also are seeing women with the same kind of traits. However, whereas in other places, the women who think like that, whereas here, where it's the majority of women who think that way, when you go to other places, it's going to be the minority of people who think that way. The minority of women who think that way. In a lot of other places, women understand their place in society. They understand their place in the household. They understand the roles to be played. They understand how important it is for them to be supportive, to be a helpmate, to form that collaborative effort. Whereas over here, it's like, oh, well, I'm not doing nothing. You right, we going to churches. You right, we going to Popeyes. You right, we going to KFC, because I don't got time for that, because I'm so busy being a boss chick. I don't got time to cook and clean. I'm a, buy my meals from somebody, and I'm a hire a cleaning company, because I'm not doing it. And I said this before, and I always have to say it. The problem is that a lot of women think that they are doing these things to be inferior to a man, right? Like, oh, I'm not going to be in the kitchen cooking and doing all this stuff. But you don't think that it's important that you cook your own food so that you know all the ingredients that are in it? How it's handled? You don't think it's important that you are in charge of your health instead of the people who you are driving to the window to get the food from? You don't think so? You don't think it's important that you are monitoring your health, your husband's health, your children's health closely, not just providing food for them, but providing nutrition for them? It's so funny because I see women have these conversations and do stuff like this all the time, not realizing they think that they're harming the man, but they're actually harming themselves. A lot of times you be seeing the woman who is obese and the man, either he's right behind her, okay, got all types of health problems, or he's slim and she the big one. And now because of the food and the toxins, now she battling depression and this and stress and all this kind of stuff. And now she blaming everything else on everything else, but her diet's not clean. Because she's paying for a convenience. I said this also in another video. Convenience is a key word here, right? Because a lot of women like to be comforted or comfortable. That is one of the main differences when you see people who grow up in other situations as opposed to everything being handed to you on a silver platter. People might say, oh, well, being American, hello, I'm American. I was born here. Things are not handed to us on a silver platter and it's not the same. And I completely understand that. But you see, one of the main things, I'm just going to use this for an example. You could go to, if you don't got it, you could go to a Dollar Tree and go get groceries. I'm just using that for an example. We might have the ability to obtain things in a certain way. You can tell people who really go and travel, and you see how other people live, and they're living so peacefully and blissfully with ions less. And if you go to the drive-thru and they mess up your order, you start acting a fool. Convenience has become the detriment. That comfort. The same way it's comforting and convenient for them to go, rush to the drive-thru and go buy something to eat and provide it for their family because they don't feel like it, is the same way when the going gets tough, they start talking about, oh, I'm not doing this no more. Oh, no. When your feelings are hurt, when your emotions are in the way, when, y'all are going through a tough time, when it's hard and y'all struggling, when your back is against the wall, y'all just get so mad, y'all get irritated, and y'all just think, oh, I know what I could do. I could get divorced. Because it's supported in society now. Now it's the same thing as getting married. Y'all gonna throw a party, everybody gonna, welcome me. I'm not gonna be shamed in my community. My community is not gonna look down upon me because it's just like, it's a Tuesday. That's what people do. They just get divorced. Not a big deal. It's just like boyfriend and girlfriend. You break up. Sign the contract. You just, forget it. I think a lot of people were allowing, again, this conversation to go over their head because they were in their feelings. But if you actually listen to what this man is saying, I feel like there's so much beauty in his conversation. And you know why? Because he is saying that he is wired away, that when the going gets tough, he's going to stand in it, like most men are. Who files for divorce? Women do. Most men, when they say that they're going to be or they are committed to you for the rest of their life, they mean that. They mean it. Women mean it too. as long as their feelings come into play, as long as emotionally they feel a certain way, as long as you're still giving them butterflies, as long as the quote unquote spark is there, as long as all of her needs are met, she good. Once that changes, she like, no, I gotta trade him in for a new model. No, my friend's in the streets, I gotta go back to the streets. No. You can't be mad at men for saying they're going to get their passports or they're going to go to other women when the women who they are here and around and have been around their whole lives have continuously either showed them certain behavior. If it's not just them showing them behavior, it's also their friend group, society, where they're finding it harder and harder to find the needles in the haystack. And I'm specifically saying needles in the haystack because I know that these women exist here. I know that. To say they completely don't exist is not true because I see them in my comment section. I see them in my DM. All the time. I see some of them on TikTok. But it's hard to find them in certain places, in certain cities. It's like a needle in a haystack for them. Oh, well, he got to have this, or he got to have that. If he don't have this and he don't have that, then I don't know about this and I don't know about that because he needs to do that. And then when they get into situations with women in different places and they have a plethora of women who are thinking all the same way, they're like, oh, cook and clean. Yeah, so what? What about it? Yeah, I grew up doing that. Okay, and what happened? That's a big deal? That makes you happy? Well, you're going to be real happy because that's, I don't got no problem doing that. My house is a representation of me, so I'm going to be cooking and cleaning all day. I guess you're going to stay real happy. Oh, provide you peace? Well, I respect my father, so I respect men. So I'm going to respect you because you're a man. I'm not going to challenge you because I'm in my feminine role. You have some men that never seen that. You have some men who grew up in spaces that they didn't even see their mom be that. I think people should stop being offended. And you know what's so interesting to me? People love to say, well, hit dogs holler, and if the shoe fits or whatever. But in these comment sections, these women that are complaining are so telling. They're so telling. I don't see women who grew up a certain way in these comment sections being like, oh yeah, well, that's not even true because I did this and I did. No, I don't see that. Women who are actually about that nature, they so busy tending to their home life, tending to their husband, tending to their children, that they see the comment and they're like, yeah, it's true. Some people don't really respect their husbands, even though I respect mine, and they keep it pushing. The people who so caught up, who purposely miss the message, are exposing themselves. They're exposing themselves. Again, that's my opinion. Okay, that's my opinion. I would like to know you guys' opinions in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.